What's going on, family? It's the Lucky Libra in the building. I hope everybody is entering the month of September in fruitful spirits. All right, happy first of the month, everybody. And y'all already know what vibes are up in September, man. Shout out to all my Libra sons and all that. But Virgos, happy birthday, Virgos. All right, I just gotta pop my ish just a little bit, just a tad bit. If you haven't already, jump to my YouTube so you guys can go ahead and catch, all right, my video breaking down the most significant transits for the month of September. We got a couple of important shifts taking place, so you might want to check that out to see how some of these alignments may affect you, all right? But what I want to talk about real quick are things we need to keep in mind as Venus goes direct, okay? Because that is the first thing that's going to set September off as Venus goes direct on the 3rd. So it's been a long time coming with Venus being retrograde, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. So it's been a long time coming. All right, it's been feeling like I have to fight all my life. This little past month when it comes into love matters, all type of Venus influences, things dealing with finances, all right? Everything we're connected to, how we, how we've been observing, how we see the worth in ourselves. Venus has everything to do with our self-esteem and the things that we value outside of ourselves, all right, guys? So I got a couple of bullet points of things I want everybody to keep in mind as we wrap this cycle up, okay? Now, First of all, your values have been challenged to be acknowledged, all right? Know what these things are, guys. You got to know what these things are. If you've been valuing negative people placing things in your life, that was highlighted during this period. If you've been valuing positive things in your life, you've got, charged up from that by seeing the momentum, progress, and seeing how that could continue to build potential towards whatever, all right? Whatever that may be, whether it's a relationship potential you're valuing, a creative endeavor you're valuing. But when it comes to all of these things, Venus is in Leo, the sign that lights everything up. Any planet transiting Leo is now on the stage. So a lot of our relationships was on the stage. A lot of our social activity was on the stage, and other people was being able to see it. Okay? People that we're connected to, whether it's a business partnership, but especially in our intimate relationships, you got to see a lot of true colors from that person you're connecting to and dealing with around this time, all right? And a lot of us, we're definitely more expressive. Whenever Venus is transiting a fire sign, especially Leo, we become more expressive of our values. So when it comes to all of these things, I really want us to be able to reflect and recollect on what we believe universe and God was trying to help us to see when it comes into, the values we carry in our, romantic life, and how we take our self-worth and make it stand for something in the world, okay? So we got that. Now, when Venus goes direct, it's going to be around 9 or 10 degrees, okay? So it got pushed all the way back to a very early, part of the Leo constellation. So we have a lot of Leo to cover, when Venus goes direct. So with that being said, when Venus goes direct, we have to utilize that whole time till Venus makes its way into Virgo, all right, to establish these new values, all right? So everything I just said in the first bullet about what we were supposed to be acknowledging and observing and pinpointing about our values in our life, when Venus goes direct, that period from Venus working its way from 10 degrees all the way out of Leo, that is the time for us to establish them new values. And because Leo is dealing with creative expression and an expression in general, we have to make sure we're more expressive to others, when it comes about things that we value. We have to make sure we're being seen. We're taking initiative to be seen for things that we value, whether it's more of in our intimate relationships in our life, or once again, something we're trying to connect and be seen for in the world itself. All right? So let's keep that one in mind. Now, okay, let me take a little sip of water for this one, because I don't know, yeah. This might be a little unsettling for y'all. Now, love matters broke down for a reason. Allow yourself to see the new doors opening as some of them may have closed. All right, guys. Now listen, y'all. Going into Venus, this whole Venus retrograde phase, we already knew we was dealing with the potential of things that we value we're connected to, things that we like, things that we love, that we may have been forced to separate from, detach from, or overall a lot of expiration dates on a lot of these things. All right. So when it comes into love matters, guys, when it comes into your love matters, if you manifested a situation where you're not dealing with somebody right, that you were dealing with coming into Venus retrograde, allow yourself to observe the things that were highlighted during this time for you to be at ease. Not at ease, but, to confirm, to have some confirmation why you should walk away from something. Okay, a lot of the times we, may have disconnections with other people, but it leaves a space of opportunity for maybe something in the future, or maybe sometimes the way things expire doesn't really, put a real seal on ending something, because it may not have been too catastrophic, may have just been some differences at the moment, it may have just been timing. But with Venus transiting Leo, like I said, true colors were seen around this time, all right? So you cannot feel bad about leaving a situation when you can easily point out the reasons why you shouldn't be in the situation, right? Whether you were at fault, right? And you probably don't even deserve the motherfucker no more. You probably don't even deserve who you with no more. Let them be. Let them go be with somebody else, all right? And when it comes into you probably being taken advantage of, you being in a situation that wasn't reciprocal, right? That wasn't reflecting the energy you was putting into it. You don't deserve to be in that situation, but everything's a learning experience, especially when it comes into relationships, guys. The lucky Libra, if I don't tell y'all nothing, the lucky Libra got to tell y'all that, all right? So please, once again, love matters broke down for a reason. Allow the process of new doors to open up as one close. Y'all be wanting doors to open up right away. Y'all be trying to walk out of the door, be like, where the next door at? You better sit your narrow ass down somewhere real quick and heal, reflect, drink some water out this motherfucker real quick, all right? So that's very key, guys. And that one, obviously, it's a process with everything, especially when things that we like, love, or we're connected to, or we truly value or see potential in, we get detached from it, right? Obviously, we don't get over these things overnight, but it's a process. Allow yourself, right, to travel through the process somewhat, okay? It's a gradual thing. It's a gradual thing. I'm trying to heal overnight and shit, all right? This bullet is kind of attached to the bullet before, but, you don't want to allow yourself to leave this retrograde with any sense of resentment. It's not a really good feeling to leave a Venus retrograde with, all right? Don't leave with resentment. Don't leave with no heavy energies, all right? Like I said, that's only going to distract and disturb the process of your healing process, of the process of you extracting wisdom from this experience, to walk into a more fruitful opportunity with more awareness of how to conduct yourself with more healthy behavior in your relationships, all right? So leaving this shit with resentment, victim energy, all right, especially if you could be accountable for how you may have played a part to something not becoming locked in with somebody else. Come on, guys, we got to have a sense of humility, all right? We too old, y'all. We too old to be getting out of relationships and just acting like kids, all right? Let's grow up, let's man up, let's woman up, see our flaws, or see how we may have been too open to be attacked in relationships, right? Because even if we were taken advantage of at times, we have to be able to understand how we created the environments for these things to happen. A lot of people are victims, but don't realize how it's easy to take advantage of you. Like, there's really no other plain way to say it. It's easy to take advantage of you. You make it easy for, motherfucking manipulators and narcissists and people that just want to take and don't give to walk into your life. So that may be part of your spiritual lesson dealing with, or some of your karmic energies dealing with relationships in your life, learning to have more of a environment that's guarded. All right, guys. So that kind of goes all the way back to the first bullet, being able to acknowledge how we deal with our values and how we deal with love matters in general. Because if there's anything that had to be pointed out, it was pointed out with a Venus retrograde in a sign that lights everything up. Okay, guys? Now, Venus deals with finances as well. All right, when it comes to our values, the more we could push our value out in the world, the more we could open up opportunities, all right, to get our hands on some monetary gains. Okay, now with that being said, Venus in Leo, taking everything dealing with love matters away. Venus in Leo itself was also a transit for us to embrace value in everything dealing with our creative attributes and our ability to birth things. Leo is the birth creative sign. All right, that's why it deals with childlike activity, deals with children. This is why sometimes when you have strong, significant transit through your fifth house, you gotta make sure you know what you're doing. Might bring somebody into the world. All right, especially if we got, shout out to who got Jupiter in the fifth right now. Aries risings. So Aries risings and Aries suns, you better know what you're doing right now. If you're trying to create, go for it. You in a potent space. But with all that being said, let's take heed to situations that may have occurred during this time where we may have been encouraged by external influences to jump into a creative bag, right? To jump into a more expressive bag. May have a coworker at work know that you could sing, know that you could rap or something, be telling you, why don't you do this, that, and third, put your music out. You know me, I'm always making music examples. This be motherfucking hip hop from the hood is the hood guru. But like, let's say, y'all might have somebody, if you have Venus transit in the 6th house right now. Who's that? Leo in the 6th house. That is Pisces rising. Hell no. Yeah, that's Pisces rising. That's Pisces rising. Yeah, that's Pisces rising. So Pisces rising right now have Jupiter in the 6th house. They may have, Venus retrograde in the 6th house. They may have somebody in their workspace encouraging them, to do something from a creative space, right? You got to be able to point that out with Venus retrograde in your 6th house. That 6th house is, this person is just being used as a tool, as a vessel right now, because Venus is in that area. Got to use something in that area to help you see the worth in you expressing, things dealing with your creative energy. So let's keep that in mind, guys. Let's keep that in mind. All right. Let's make sure the world see our value when it comes to anything we are developing from a creative space, especially if it can enlighten others. It could share awareness, right? It could connect to others, have messages behind it. We all have purposes and different experiences and lessons to give, behind our expression. All right. So very important to keep that in mind, guys. And also with Venus dealing with finances, make sure things that you had to settle with your finances, debts, budgeting, money management. I'm pretty sure Venus retrograde pushed a lot of us in situations where we might have seen where we may have been lackadaisical in certain areas with finances. We're not thinking ahead when it comes into money management and finances. All right, so let's make sure we get that together, especially during Virgo season. We're in the Earth season. We can't be playing around with bills and debts and shit. Mercury retrograde in Virgo, like shit gonna really pile up and get on our ass. All right, if we not thinking ahead and making sure we're making sacrifices today to make sure we remain stable. If you have to make sacrifices, if you have to be in a space where you have to think ahead and calculate and not allow the pleasures, the elements that we may like to overindulge in Venus, not let that distract us from something we're in the process of building, taking time to build when it comes to stability and security. So let's keep that in mind. And lastly, which may be the most important bullet. Venus was retrograde, so since this transit deals with us being able to see some of our flaws in our relationships, like I said, how we value ourselves, how we conduct ourselves with love matters. If you started dealing with somebody on an intimate level during Venus retrograde, this could very well be a karmic situation. And I'll tell you why this could be a karmic situation. Because this situation could be a scenario where you're being challenged right now. This person may be displaying red flags, right? Maybe displaying red flags, and you're being tested to see if you can navigate that flaw, not allow yourself to get too invested, situations like that. So depending on the different things we may all have to learn when it comes into love matters, because we all have different karma when it comes into love matters. We all have different situations we come into the world with. A lot of us come into the world already having some soul ties with people. So it's a lot of things that go on with karmic situations with love matters in general. But this person could be a whole display of the energies you're not supposed to be dealing with anymore. So by the time when Venus goes direct, guys, this will be a period for you to apply that newfound wisdom, right? Show universe, show God, like, now I learned my lesson. Like, I'm good over that. You can't just wave anything in front of my face and I just, drop my standards, morals, or things I done experience and learn because there's some type of Venus energy that I'm trying to, connect to, other than more of a solid foundation and building a connection with somebody. And when I say Venus energy, the feel, the feeling and emotion is everything, in a relationship, but not everything, but obviously a huge source. But when I say the feel, just how this person may make you feel. Venus likes to feel good, so maybe a sense of pleasure, comfort that you get from this person, and that's cool. We want those things in a relationship, but don't let these Venus-like themes drop your guard from the things that you should be applying and how you should be conducting yourself spiritually and in a wise manner when dealing with others in an intimate level. All right, guys, you see red flags, things that you done got into that things that manifested discouraging situations in your relationship life, but allow the same people with the same elements, and you allow yourself to entertain these things. So you will get challenged like that during a Venus retrograde. So I'm not saying everybody that started talking to somebody during a Venus retrograde and started dealing with somebody around this time is in this type of situation, but a lot of people are. A lot of people are. I'll tell you that right now. Okay, so guys, that's what we got going on. Those are the most important things to understand as Venus goes direct. All right, Libra sun moon risings and Venus in Libras, and Taurus sun moon risings and Venus in Taurus. There's going to be some clarity picking up a whole bunch for you guys when it comes into relationship matters, but a lot of you guys may have also dealt with some crazy ass karma around this time because you guys being the Venus dominant individuals in this plane, you're supposed to be the ones carrying the example of what Venus energy is supposed to look like. So if you haven't been conducting Venus energy and using Venus to manipulate others and gain power in unrighteous ways, then you dealt with some crazy karma during Venus retrograde, and you need to, look that in the mirror. Help it to grow your character and help you to use your power more wisely. I was just saying this, talking about the transits this month, but I was saying how, every zodiac sign has powers, right, that could easily, take control of themselves. So you got to be able to use your power in the most wise way. All right. So that's what we got going on, family. Happy first of the month once again. Let's go ahead and let's make it do what it does in the month of September, y'all. Shout out to all my Libras. Shout out to my Libras. Happy birthday to all my Virgos. All right. Happy Venus Day, everybody. Hope everybody enjoys the weekend. Peace.